Dubai Fintech Summit. The Dubai Fintech Summit is organized by DIFC, and it is an initiative by the government of Dubai to help position Dubai as the home of finance, fintech, and emerging technologies. The event was inaugurated in 2023 and is under the patronage of His Highness Sheikh Maktoum bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the Deputy uh, Ruler of Dubai, Deputy Prime Minister, and Minister of Finance for the UAE. At the second, this year, we'll be hosting the second edition of the event, which will be taking place on the 6th and 7th of May 2024 at the Madinat Jumeirah. At the event this year, we're expecting to have over 8,000 C-suite business leaders from around the world who will be joined by more than 300 speakers, which will include more than 20 governors or deputy governors from central banks from around the world, along with their respective delegations, more than 10 ministers of finance, economy, and state from various different countries. And they will also be joined by an additional 250 to 300 enterprise business leaders, fintech CEOs, and startup unicorn CEOs as well will be participating in the event.
What are your expectations from this?
And what industries are actually coming for this event and from where?
Sure. So start with the expectations. Our expectations from this event are one is to help proliferate emerging technologies and the use of technology in the world of finance, to help bring the world of finance together and help bring the world of fintechs and the entire global fintech ecosystem together, to network, engage, share ideas, and help with the mass adoption of these new technologies. We're expecting a very large representation from banks at all levels, including national banks, state banks, and private sector banks. So ultimately, this is an event which is an opportunity for government regulators and policymakers to connect with fintech organizations as well as finance organizations and the end consumers. Right? As a B2B summit, we're not targeting a end consumer mass market kind of affair, but it's really about showcasing the impact and role that technology plays in the world of finance and helping transforming the finance industry moving forward.
What the elements you can present to get more trust from the investor or from the people?
I think in terms of trust, you can't do much more than have actual government representatives, policymakers, ministers, and governors participating. So, like I said, we're expecting more than 20 governors from various central banks from around the world to be participating. We've already confirmed participation from over 10 governors and their respective delegations. We're also bringing our partners such as the AMF, IMF, IFC, who are working with us in collaboration with the Dubai Fintech Summit to host their own additional side events, which will be happening over the course of the two-day event. We're also hosting additional side events with our industry partners, which will be an opportunity for them to showcase some of their latest innovations to a targeted group of stakeholders in the community.
What challenges you are facing for this exhibition? Like what is the challenges you are facing? Like yeah, it is.
As an organizer of the
Yeah,
event,
yes.
I think, like most events, as an organizer, one of the challenges that we face is it's always a race to the finish line in terms of timelines. So the objective here is not to do an event for the sake of doing it, right? So it will be easy for us to bring a few thousand people to an event, to a venue, but that's not the objective. It's about bringing the right profiles of people, bringing the right decision makers, the right influencers, the right policy makers, and to help curate that dialogue and that narrative around not just what are today's challenges, but what are tomorrow's opportunities and possibilities. So that is a major focus for us in terms of aligning not just what we think is important, but also what the market actually needs. One of the things that we do to address that is we host what we call the DFS dialogues, which are a series of closed door affairs where we bring anywhere between 30 to 50 CEOs of banks, fintechs, and enterprise organizations to help understand from their perspective what are the actual challenges that they're facing, what are the types of topics they would like us to cover, what would be the learning opportunities that them and their teams will be looking forward to. We then use that information to curate the agenda, curate the speakers, and curate the topics that will be
So
discussed.
this is not only local activities. You have already
No.
worldwide.
It's a global initiative. Yes.
So just a minute, okay. So you mentioned 2 day event on in May.
6th and 7th.
Yeah, six. So what about this World FinTech World Cup?
Right.
Yeah, how many?
Sure. Sure.
startups are there?
The Fintech World Cup is an initiative by the Dubai Fintech Summit to help showcase the startups that are essentially the challengers in the ecosystem. The startups that are changing the way that technology operates, changing the world that we live in. And it's a global pitch competition, actually, the world's largest fintech specific pitch competition, which will give startups from around the world to participate at the grand finale and a chance to win up to 1 million US dollars in investment funding. We've hosted multiple editions of the FinTech World Cup so far, including India, Singapore, Saudi Arabia, and even we've had two editions in the UAE as well. We're also working with our partners across Europe, including the Luxembourg FinTech Association, to host an edition of the event in Europe as well next month.
What is the criteria for the competition?
How many participants are there
So,
so far?
at the grand finale, there'll be up to 10 companies that'll be given the opportunity to pitch
After the selection,
because the winners of each of the regional events, right? Overall, we've received pitch submissions from over 200 participants from around the world,
200.
over 200 submissions from each of the different regional initiatives. And each regional finale is also judged by an independent panel of jury members, so that it's not, we don't decide who the winners are, we let the industry experts decide who the winners
So
are.
this is a UAE chapter. UAE.
So this is the UAE region.
Region.
Yes.
Okay. And the final will be announced in the 2 days summit.
The final pitch competition will happen during the two-day event,
During
and the winner of the overall FinTech World Cup will also be announced at that point.
Same time.
Why do you think this is the right time to launch the project?
Because the amount of change in the world in terms of technology and the impact that technology is having has never been more important, right? But more importantly, technology is going to keep changing, but the way that we use that technology, the way that the regulators adopt that technology, the way that